store cupboard of food. And I remember when I went off to university, my mum got me one of those massive bags of pasta, like the 5 kilo bags.
Did you finish yours?
By about Christmas, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to
pesto
my mum, but I
pasta.
didn't.
So yeah, it's that sort of thing. Big things of bread.
Just things to get you by, isn't it, really? Just while you're settling in.
And then, because we've got like Morrison's and stuff on site for fresh produce, clothes hangers. People always forget clothes hangers.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought to do that. So
yeah. So just bin bag your clothes from home and bring them in. Basically, that's what I would do. And then also like home comforts, because it's a big step away, but you also want to have that connection to home
this
as well.
This room and this accommodation is now your new home, so you want to kind of make that your own, and that's the best way to do it as well.
Yeah.
Especially, like I said, it is a big step. So to bring those things that make you think of home in your new home is quite nice. So
all the rooms have got a notice board, so you can pin some stuff up. So if you've got family photos that you want to display, or posters from gigs or tickets and things like that, it's really nice to decorate that. Put some fairy lights up.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it can be really cute. Make it your own. Get some blankets, because obviously this is Britain and it is cold in the winter.
Even in the summer.
Yeah, it was. So get some cushions, some blankets, that sort of thing. Nice and homely and cosy. So that's what you should bring. What you shouldn't bring is, firstly, your car. Yes.
Should not bring a car?
Do not bring your car.
Do not bring your car.
So parking is really, really limited, and that's only really down at Glenside and the Hollies. Frenchay and the city centre, there's no parking. I live in the city centre myself, and I don't get parking, so...
And you also find you might think you need your car to begin with, but you don't. You really don't.
Need your car.
The public transport in Bristol is fantastic sometimes, but you feel like you need it, but once you've settled in, get to grips with how to get around, you'll realise that actually having the car is not the end of the world.
Yeah, especially if you're like either living in city centre or Frenchay campus. You've got the M buses, and they're just so well connected. There's like the M1, the M3, M4, and they come like every 10 minutes.
They're brilliant.
I think like I said, I live in the city centre, so I get the M bus up to Frenchay every day, and I can be from my sofa to my desk in 25 minutes.
25 minutes?
Wow. So I think that's pretty good. So even if you are in the city centre and you're living up at Frenchay, there's that option as well. Don't bring your car, leave that at home. And that goes for like second year as well, private. A lot of private rents are not going to get a car parking space.
You know, by the time you found a parking space, you probably could have got there on the bus.
It's true. It's true. So don't bring that. Obviously, don't bring any naughty substances that are illegal. E-scooters are also not allowed on campus. We have what are they called now? Tier,
yes, they replace Boy.
So we have those dotted around the city centre and near campus as well. So you can jump on one of those, but private e-scooters are not allowed.
Okay.
And for the home comforts, we also must say no candles.
No candles.
So no open flames, so no candles, no incense, no sort of oil burners, anything like that. Just because it's a fire risk, basically, and we can't be having that. If you want your room to smell nice, get one of those reed infusers.
Good idea. Air fresheners.
Anything like that, they're fine, but just nothing with a flame.
Fantastic. Perfect. So this is the chance for you guys to get your questions answered. So if there is any questions you have right now that you want answered by our panel, submit them. They're going to arrive on my iPad right here, and we'll get them answered. But we actually do have a huge amount of questions to get through, so I hope you guys got some time. These have been submitted to us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube over the last few days. So should we just dive right into it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how prepared you are. So first question is, can I change my arrival slot?
You can. But I think it's really worthwhile remembering that it is a really busy time for us. So on Frenchay campus, we are moving in 4,000 people over 4 days.
Wow.
So it's basically a small town.
I'm not jealous of your team's workload.
So that's why we have the arrival slots, and that's why we've made them in those distinct ways as well. So if you can stick to it as much as possible, it would be really beneficial to us and to you, because it can get really busy, and we don't want to make, especially Saturday, that's our busiest day, we don't want to make the queues any longer. So if you can arrive Thursday or Friday or Sunday as well, that would be amazing. I think I'm originally from the south coast, it's like a 2-hour drive, so I would probably be coming up Friday night, you know,
Yeah.
after mum and dad have finished work, I'd be coming up. But yeah, Saturday's going to be really busy. You can change your arrival slot. If you email in, we can do it, but we'd be really grateful if you just stuck to it as much as
make
possible.
like your travel arrangements ahead of time.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
I'd also probably don't panic as well if you are running late. We understand that does happen.
Yeah.
And you know, if you are panicking, just still turn up. We're not going to turn anyone away because you've missed your arrival.
Is it best if you're arriving late to get in contact and make you aware?
After hours of our like kind of normal day hours, yes, just let us know.
Yeah, so if you're going to arrive after 6, let us know.
Let us know.
I see.
But other than that, as long as you're still going to make it in that allotted time, that's absolutely fine, yeah.
Fantastic. So next question is, can I add a gym membership to my rent?
You can. Can you remember the day you can do it up to?
Oh, I think is it September?
It's the end of September.
End of
I'm pretty
September.
sure you can add a gym membership onto your rent, and then it comes off in the instalments that you choose.
Fantastic.
Which is very handy.
Nice and easy, isn't
yeah,
it?
you don't have to think about it.
But if you do miss that, obviously you can still go to the gym directly as well.
Yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning as well, anyone who's interested who might be worried about budget and stuff, is that we do have the UWE Move program, which is actually really great. It's for our students and staff, and you can basically go to all these like free sessions across Bristol. Like you can do yoga, rock climbing, all those things. So different kind of gym, I guess.
Yeah.
So next one is, why do I have to move my car after 20 minutes? Can't it just stay there until my family and friends arrive? Leave, sorry.
So, like I said, 4,000 people. So that also means usually around 3,000 cars.
3,000 cars.
If not even more,
You can
maybe.
imagine that is just...
It's a lot of
Thank
cars.
God French isn't in the clean air zone.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Worthwhile mentioning as well, if you're moving to the centre, check if your car is CAS compliant.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's why we ask you to move on. It's just so get in, unload the boxes, take them up to your room, take them into the kitchen, or however you want to do it. Go back and move the car. There's car parks on Frenchay that you'll be redirected to, so you can move your car off and you can stay there as long as possible, but you can't stay outside the accommodation. Just because if you've got the 11:30 slot, that midday slot's coming in behind you, so they need to...
It's like a train of...
We
need to just keep things moving, really.
Yeah.
Like a conveyor belt. It's
Yeah,
got
exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, I see. What's the best way to break the ice with your flatmates?
Food.
The food, yeah. Food.
Food's always a winner. It's like everyone loves across the world, don't they? Bringing together through food. So put the kettle on, make a cup of tea, make some coffee.
Music, you know?
Yeah.
Put some music on.
I always think it's not a bad idea as well to like admit to people you're a bit nervous when you first meet them.
Absolutely.
Everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people that are arriving on campus that day have never done this before.
Yeah.
So they're all the same.
The main thing you have in common is that.
Yeah.
So immediately it's,
Yeah. And I kind of feel like on your first day, you got so much to talk about. It's like, oh, what city are you from?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Like, you know,
What
were you living with your
course
parents?
you
Yeah, what
doing?
course you doing? Like, are you post-grad? Because obviously you can have a mix of master and undergrad, can't you?
Yeah. So we could put two people together in age categories, but obviously you might be coming to do an undergrad and you're 25, but you also might be doing a postgrad and you're 25, but you're going to be possibly in the same flat together.
In the same flat.
Yeah.
So lots to talk about, essentially.
Loads to talk about.
So what is your, I guess we can ask this to both of you, what's your favourite place on campus in Bristol and your favourite place to eat?
Oh,
That's a good one.
that is.
Should we start with what's your favourite place on campus?
Yeah, do you want me to?
Go on then.
I'm quite fond of a place called The Grill.
The grill's great.
Yes, it's very nice. It's very Nando-esque, shall we say. Oh, it's really good food.
I think you actually ticked off two there, because one of them is your favourite place to eat on campus. So
Oh, there you go. It's
Tickety
my
boo.
favourite place to go with someone to eat.
I love, again on Frenchay campus, I love the walled garden.
Oh, yeah.
I go and eat my lunch in there quite a lot because it's really peaceful. And it's got the big Walls Court Park lawn behind it as well. And it just really feels like you're away from the hectic office way. So yeah, I like going and sitting there on Frenchay campus. But I think the whole of Glenside is kind of picturesque and like that anyway.
Yeah,
So you can
I
go
feel like
anywhere
I'm in a movie
Glenside.
every time
Yeah.
I'm in Glenside. It's fantastic. And like, you know, obviously we've, you mentioned the wall garden, we've also got the community garden at Frenchay and stuff like that. But then Glenside, like you said, is just tons of greenery. So next question is, what happens if I don't like my flatmates?
It does happen.
It does happen.
It does happen. I mean, initially, you know, you move in, no one knows each other. There could naturally become differences. You know, it does happen. But if it's something that persists and it's something that, you know, you think this isn't working, I would like to move. There's people there, we have our accommodation managers at first that are there to help resolve those issues or
That's
anything.
great.
And then there's also myself and the admin team that if it does come down to it, if you wanted to transfer accommodation, it's not impossible. We do it all the time. So there are those options there, but we always say initially, give it a chance, because sometimes these things don't happen straight away. And
see if you can work things out.
Yeah,
I guess
absolutely.
that's a good skill to learn when you're at university as
Exactly.
well.
Yeah,
you're always going to come across people that you might not have come across in other life paths, but it's worthwhile just sticking at it. And we have got the accommodation managers. They're going to come round in the first 2 or 3 weeks and visit all the flats. They're going to introduce themselves. They're going to sort of check how people are settling in, making sure they're getting out and about, and they've sort of attended some of the events and all of that kind of thing. So I think, they all introduce them. That's what they're there for, so you can lean on them. Yeah.
Are there any welcome events that you two specifically that you encourage people to go to? I'm assuming you'd probably encourage people to go to all of those.
Like the Freshers' Fair.
Freshers' Fair is really
fun. It's always quite fun, isn't it? Because you get lots of free things.
Yeah,
it's really
you
busy.
can get interviewed by people like myself on the social media. So please come to Freshers' Fair.
I'm really excited this year because we've got new Purdown view. I'm so excited to see all those communal spaces. So we've got the Student Life Hub. So the Student Life team are our student-led events-based team, and they do the social medias for accommodation kind of thing, and they've got their new hub that's going to be in Purdown View. So it's this 2-floor building. It's got table tennis. It looks amazing. It looks
really nice.
And then just down from there as well, there's the communal kitchen. So that's going to get used for cooking
I've seen
classes.
That. It's fantastic.
It's so good. So I'm really excited to see what events happen in Purdown View.
Very nice. So get down to the Student Life Centre in
Student Life
Purdown.
Hub. I think they've got an inflatable course.
Really?
An inflatable course?
An inflatable course.
Staff
I would like to attend that.
I think as long as you get a ticket.
I feel like I could, I'm 24, maybe I could get away with it. I'm just a slightly older undergrad, you know? This one's actually quite interesting. I don't know if either of you, when you first moved to Bristol, if it was specifically difficult, especially moving from the south. But what's your best tips for surviving my first winter?
Wrap up warm.
Yeah.
Wrap up warm.
And get a raincoat. We get a lot of rain in the southwest.
A lot.
So get yourself a good raincoat, waterproof shoes. Brollies tend to just fly away, so don't worry about them. So get a raincoat with a hood, and get some. Yeah, I like a nice blanket. That
Nice
sort
blanket.
of thing.
Thermal socks. I'm a big fan of thermal socks.
I'd recommend the gloves with fingerprint sensors,
Yes.
so you can still use
Definitely.
your phone and stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm on bus stops and my hands feel like they're seasoned shut. Best money saving tips for living independently for the first time. Ooh. This is interesting.
Yeah. Budget. I think
knowing what you can spend.
Yeah.
And
don't splurge your loan when it first comes in.
Yes.
I know many people that have done that.
But
you see that money, you've never had that money in your account before, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back when I was at uni, cash was still more of a thing, and so I would always take out my cash for the week.
That's
but
smart.
obviously now, UWE is a cashless campus, so I would say get another bank account where you can physically see the money. So I use Monzo, and I just add my month's worth of money into my Monzo.
Then leaving what has to go out, rent and other things, food, somewhere else, and then I call it enjoyment money somewhere else.
Enjoyment money,
where you can spend that with no worries.
Yeah.
And that's what I do now.
Honestly, I would recommend anyone get a budget. It was one of the things that when I moved out at 18, I convinced myself I'd do it, never got round to it. And I did one finally about a year ago, and I just was like, why did I not do this the minute I moved out? It just makes it so much easier.
Yeah. And all of the students will have access to the black bullion via the student money service as well, which is just a really handy tool for students specifically to budget via.
Yeah, and that's probably worth mentioning. The student money service actually, they're very fantastic. They're there for your financial advice. They are going to be doing some takeovers of our social media channels in the next couple of months and giving you Q&As directly. So lots of tips essentially.
Yeah.
How long can our parents stay before they have to leave in on move-in day?
So they can stay, I'm going to say until night time, basically. So we have the no visitor policy, which sounds scary. We have that until the 1st of October. But basically that means no overnight visitors until the 1st of October. So those first 2 weeks are really just spent settling in, getting to know your flatmates, your course, Bristol as a whole, I mean, you're not really going to notice that you haven't got any visitors, so it's fine. So yeah, we just say until dark, basically, and
until
then
dark.
Natural goodbye happens.
Yeah, go for dinner, have something like that.
Yeah, that's a good
then,
idea.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, because it could also be quite emotional. So it's nice that you guys are saying you can stay there till night, like get settled, start unpacking maybe, and then they have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Where should I collect my keys if I'm staying at Purdown?
So Purdown, if you're coming by car, it's a place called EP1, but I understand that means nothing.
It'll mean nothing to anyone else.
Most people. But it's if you come in via the west or the north entrance, that's where you're going to be directed to. So there's loads of AA signs, the big yellow signs.
Okay.
So follow those. I think we've also got some people that are going to be wearing high vis, pink high vis.
It's quite hard to not know where you're going.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll feel quite daunting when you come into Frenchie campus. But as long as you know where you're moving into, you'll be directed, and as you said, there'll be people everywhere and AA signs.
Would there be like student ambassadors as well?
Yeah.
So they wear like bright blue hoodies, so you can basically find one of them if worst case scenario. But it sounds like there'll be loads of signage.
Loads of signage, yeah. So that's where Purdown is. That's also where Student Village is, and then Watercourt Park is at the other end of campus because that's where it is, and so that's in the common room. But yeah, it's
fantastic.
Nice and easy to find.
What security measures have been put in place for each accommodation, seeing the unrest from the UK at the moment?
Oh, yeah. So we have a security team on campus at all times. And then we also have CCTV throughout like the public areas of the accommodation. Yeah. Obviously not in your flat and in your bedroom and stuff like that, but in the public areas, courtyards,
kind of stuff,
and the pathways through Watercourt Park. But yeah, we always have people on site. We also have, I don't know if I'd call it a mini police station, but we do have two
campus
police officers. So they're on site as well, so they can come and handle any unrest if it gets that bad. But it's very, very rare that it does come that bad. So
security do patrol the campus as well.
Yeah.
And there is the main security phone number if something you're feeling unsettled, you need to contact someone. There is that number there. Security will come out and there. So
that's
it's the same down in City Centre as well. So they've got security and staff, and they've got Bridewell Police Station, which is right in the centre as well. So the police are always nearby. Yeah, it's
and accommodations themselves are always is a case that you like have to use a pass or a key to get into the main door, and then the hallway.
All main doors, as soon as they shut, they are locked.
Yeah,
they
exactly. So like there's that safety as well.
Yeah.
Worried about helping my son move in and set up in only 1.5 hours.
Yeah, so it's not a one. Well, for Frenchy and Glenside, it's definitely not an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
I cannot speak for the city centre.
Different for the city.
Yeah.
I see.
But if it's Frenchy and Glenside, you are welcome. So you've got that half an hour to unload and then move on,
isn't it? Really.
And then you can stay in the car park.
You can stay in the car park, see them till night.
Yeah.
If it is city centre, do you think they could contact the
I
accommodation
would
directly?
Get in contact with whoever is your building provider, your building manager. Talk to them about that sort of thing. They might even say, "Oh, here's another car park that you have to move to." But I doubt it will be.
Yeah, I mean, and I like we do, those our city providers will send that moving in information.
Of
so
course.
It's probably there because they'll probably have a similar system to us, but
So, and that's actually one thing to touch on. People should be checking their emails before they move in.
Yeah.
They're going to get information from you, get information from student communications team. Lots of reason to check your email before you get on campus.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Just a reminder to anyone that if you do have questions that we haven't answered yet, submit them on whatever platform you're watching this on, and this will be here, and we can get them answered for you. So the next question is, worried about... oh, sorry, I've done that one. Should have marked it off. For Purdown View, do we need induction pans?
Yes.
Yes.
Should have mentioned that. So because Purdown View is super sustainable, we have induction hobs in all of the flats, and that includes studios as well. So you need to have an induction compliant pan. Really easy to check if yours is. They're just magnetic on the bottom. So you can get a fridge magnet, bung it on the bottom. If it sticks, it's induction. And they work very similarly. You'll get very used to having it, and then you'll wonder how you lived life without one, basically. But they turn off straight away, and they cool down, and they use less energy, basically.
Yeah, that was something actually that tripped me up when I moved into my university accommodation. They had induction pans, and I did not buy induction pans.
No.
And I think I had takeaway the first 2 days, which drained my bank account.
But if you do forget induction pans, there's the Range and Asda and Sainsbury's. There's like loads of places nearby. So
Just
you can
down
go
the
get
road,
them.
isn't there?
Yeah.
There's loads.
Yeah,
Just pop down
literally,
there,
if
go
you're on
get
French Way campus, that is a 10-minute walk at
Yeah.
most.
Yeah.
So
It's a nice walk as well.
yeah, it's a nice walk.
It's a
Yeah,
nice
it's not
walk.
too
It's a
bad.
nice walk.
Just a quick note on what I said about submitting questions. If you are watching this on TikTok, I'm afraid we cannot see your questions due to a technical difficulty. So just submit those on either YouTube, Facebook. You could even submit them on Instagram. So next question is: after we unpack, what should we do next?
Put the kettle on.
Put the kettle on.
Sit down.
Yeah, sit down, relax. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole kind of experience is quite a tiring day.
Yeah.
You know, you're
It is.
picking up your life, moving it somewhere else. It's probably kind of like, I'm here. You know,
I guess
Yeah.
like this student's probably maybe feeling like, oh, I want to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
you can
suppose
do.
you
Go
can as
and
well.
knock on
yeah.
your neighbours' doors, that sort of thing.
Just go and
and see
explore.
go look around. See there are events happening over the welcome weekend as well, so pop out and see that.
Fantastic.
There's student services. They're going to be in the one zone area and in the atrium, I believe. So you can go and see what they've got to offer. Register at the doctors. Go and collect your student ID card. There's loads to do like on the day. But yeah, I would recommend taking maybe a couple of minutes just to
Breathe.
make your bed,
Slow
do all
down.
of that.
Yeah, because there's time to get these things done
There will be
before your
days.
lessons start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, before starting block and everything. Do we need cards to get into the gym? And if so, where do we get them from?
That would be from the gym,
From the gym.
directly. Even if
Yeah.
you have applied for accommodation and you have it with us and you've applied for the gym within your accommodation, the card is still separate to the key card that you would receive.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So if you're part of the gym through us, you would just go there. They will already be aware that you're a member and they'll give you a little active card.
Oh, fantastic. Can we collect mail after moving in?
Yeah, so we have mail for any active residents or anyone that's living within one of our properties on French Way and Glenside, and you can get that sorted as well. The only bit of mail we can accept before move-in is the uni kit-out boxes, which are kind of the packs of
bedding and
life,
kitchen
basically.
stuff,
Packs
yeah.
of life.
that you can have pre-ordered, and they'll arrive at our customer service desks, and then we take them and put them in your flats. But that's the only bit. Please don't order anything until you've moved in.
Get here
because we don't
first.
have the room.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So I have too much stuff and I need 2 cars. Where can I park both?
Both.
It's
It's only one room.
Yeah, I would say that this is a dorm room.
Not the
Yeah.
first person though that I've handed a key
I mean,
to.
yeah, you said 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, it worked the same way as if you had one car. It would be a case of the first car would have to come outside the accommodation, unload those belongings, and the likelihood would be that the second car would just come through a little bit later, just to unload the other stuff. But we wouldn't be able to have 2 cars at the same time. But we understand that does sometimes happen, so it would just be a case of two drop-off points, essentially.
I see. And would they have to get in contact with you guys beforehand to say, just to let you know, I've got 2 cars arriving?
I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't know, because we would just
Yeah.
treat that car as just another car.
I see.
So if you wanted to let us know, that would be great. But yeah, if you turn up on the day with 2, you know.
Fantastic. Are there hairdryers in Purdown views en suites?
There's not. So there's a few things that we don't include because those things tend to come down to personal preference. So things like hairdryers, irons. We don't provide irons because some prefer steam, some prefer dry, some prefer a steamer.
Oh.
I like a steamer rather
steamer,
than an iron. And we also don't provide the toasters. Again, some people like 2, 4, whatever. So no, we don't provide those, but
See,
bring your own.
Something to pack. You know, good you got it answered now because
Yeah.
you've got a bit of time before
Yeah.
you move in. Is there AC in the accommodation rooms?
No.
AC.
That's a good one to
No,
know.
and I don't, there's nothing in the city centre or anything like that. No. It's just not really a thing in British homes in general.
Yeah, like obviously I'm not sure who submitted this question, but like I think air conditioning is more common for international students across the world.
Yeah.
The UK, unfortunately, we just aren't built
We're
for
not
it.
warm enough.
Yeah, it's not warm enough.
We don't even use it for about 2 weeks a year.
Yeah. Although I guess we could use reverse it as a heater.
Yeah.
That'd be handy. And for those 2 weeks, I did wish we have AC. Can we have air fryers? I know that you answered this earlier.
Yes.
But they
But
must
just
stay in your kitchen.
Not in your room.
Yeah.
This is something we discussed when we were setting up this live stream. Is big on to not cook in your room.
Please don't cook
please
in
don't
your
cook in your
bedroom.
room.
Yes.
No, it's not set up for that.
Yeah, I think the issue is that there's a lot of TikTok trends right now where people try to do these things in like bedrooms, and that's great. But what I'd say is that those people are probably like somewhat qualified, so they know how to like avoid danger. I myself, if I cooked with an air fryer in my dorm room, I would set it on fire.
Yeah, it's every room is sort of equipped with a heat sensor as well, so we will know if you've been cooking in your room.
Yes, it will go off,
we will know if you've been cooking in your room. We will know if you've put an extra heater in there,
Oh, wow.
and that sort of thing. So yeah, we are. That's the other thing you really shouldn't bring is an extra heater.
An extra heater.
If it's too cold and you've wrapped yourself up in blankets and you still can't warm up, or there is a problem with your heater, get in contact with us. We've got a really fabulous maintenance team on site. So
We can increase the heat, can't we?
Yeah.
Something like that. So,
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's really great to know. This one is slightly different. It's best cycle routes to campus.
Ooh.
Obviously, that would be like quite a
Which
difficult
campus?
question.
Yeah, which campus? I mean, Bristol, we were discussing this, it's a very bike-heavy city.
Yes, it
and
is.
the cycle paths are lovely.
Yeah.
Whichever way you go.
Yeah.
Hilly, but lovely.
Hilly, exactly.
You're
But
going
if
to
you're a
have really
cyclist,
good leg
you'll love it.
muscles.
yeah, you'll probably have the thighs for her anyway. The actual UWE Bristol main social media accounts, we are releasing a video that goes through the cycle route, so stay tuned to that. And
Perfect.
just a shameless plug right there. What's the most efficient way to unpack? Ooh, this is a good one.
It depends, doesn't it? Because I myself would like to get the big things out of the way. You know, setting up the things, get your television set up.
That'd be
You've
the
got your
first
games
thing I'd say.
console, speaker,
Yeah.
you know, and then
Yeah,
I would
of
kind of, the little things that make it home afterwards.
Yeah.
I do it the other way
But
around.
you would do it the other way around.
So I would make my bed first. There's something really cosy about that sort of thing. So I'd probably make my bed. I remember when I went to uni, my mum, that was one thing she really wanted to do was make up my bed. But yeah, I'd unpack maybe the kitchen stuff. You're probably going to meet more
a good
people
one.
doing that as well,
yeah.
and then
Social,
you can go
yeah,
back
yeah.
and unpack. But get your stuff. Think about it like holiday. Like, what do I need to have out first?
I see.
And then you can slowly unpack because you're probably going to have a lot of stuff. So don't worry about
Yeah.
getting it all
It
out
might
in the
take
first
a
day.
while to
Yeah.
just sort it all out. You might want to just,
Yeah.
like you said, make the bed, have a good first night, and then think about it the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, there could even be some things left in boxes,
Yeah.
you know, for a
Yeah.
little while. I mean, I lived out of boxes for at least a few months, but I would not encourage that. Maybe I should not be hosting this. Can I have a mini fridge in my room?
We say no unless it's for medical
Medical purposes, really.
Oh, okay, so like the smaller medical
Yeah,
fridges.
so if you,
Yeah.
if you require medication that you don't want to store in the communal fridge for whatever reason, that's usually the only reason we would allow for a mini
Yeah.
fridge.
I
It sort
see.
of comes back to that no cooking in bedrooms. That's what feels like the first slippery slope of cooking in bedrooms is having a little fridge in there. So,
I see, yeah,
yeah.
it's a very small slope from there to
Yeah.
air fryers setting the place on fire.
Yeah.
Is the ID photo like a passport photo? I'm assuming that's for the UWE ID card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
referring
so
to.
yeah, a little clear picture of your face. They need to upload that on a plain background, that sort of thing.
So
If you've got a passport one.
A quite current one as well, because
Yeah.
sometimes we get photos and someone looks really young. They don't look like that anymore. You've grown up.
Yeah, and then so just if you've got a passport one just lying around, that's absolutely
That's perfect.
perfect. And then you can show that when you come to collect your keys as well. So we'll need some form of photographic
Photographic
ID,
ID.
I
just
think-
to check that you are Max, that you are moving in.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
the person you say you are. And I think nowadays it's much easier to get these photos taken because you can take one on your phone
Oh, yeah,
against a
that's
plain
fine,
white
yeah.
Oh,
backdrop.
it's
That's
very
fine.
simple, isn't
Just
it?
remove the shadows from your face, don't wear sunglasses, and you'll be fine, basically.
Yeah.
Are there WhatsApp groups for new starters?
There are, but they're not owned by us. So
Oh, okay.
they are owned by the UWE Bristol Freshers Group,
Okay.
which is sort of connected to the Students' Union, and they run all the big events that happen. So if you go to their socials, they've got a link that has all of the WhatsApp groups for, I think every building we have, they've
Oh,
got
wow.
one. So yeah, you can really
That's
sort of
the
dial it down.
best way to do it, because we can't.
Yeah.
We are not able to disclose
Not allowed to.
who's living in the accommodation.
I see. Yeah. I mean, one thing I could even recommend from my time at accommodation, so I don't know who it was, but someone set up a little pin board in our kitchen that said, write your name and phone number.
Yeah.
So then we instantly had a group chat between like the four of us, and that was really handy, you know, for little updates, like, oh, who's causing all that noise, you know, little things like
Who
that.
hasn't done the washing up?
Yeah, who hasn't done the washing up? What are the measurements for the bed? Now, I know this is a bit of a tricky one.
We don't have the measurements as such, but we kind of follow the universal UK bed sizes. We've got the Student Village, you'll find single beds. We've got small doubles in Wolves Court and Purdown, and also in our larger rooms, or the premium rooms in Purdown, they're
full doubles.
Double beds.
Double.
But they all follow the kind of universal measurements. So if you're looking to buy a bed sheet and you know you're moving into the Student Village, you're best going for just that single bed sheet, duvet, things like that.
Fantastic. Just remind people we've only got 15 minutes left, so submit your questions while you can, while our panel are here, but obviously they can contact you guys as well, leading up to moving in. Can my room contract be made shorter?
I can't, no. They are set contract lengths.
52 weeks?
So 42.
42 weeks. Oh, I'd nearly impressed you guys then. That's no problem. And where could I buy my yearly bus ticket?
So most buses in Bristol are First Bus. So if you download the First Bus app, you can buy all your tickets through there. Most buses are also cashless as well, but you can tap on, tap off, like in London.
Yeah, I do tap on, tap off now. It's
so
great.
It's handy. You can get annual ones. There are special student passes for that as well, so you can save a little bit of money. It's worthwhile working out, I think, because I get the bus every day, how many times you're going to use that bus pass, whether or not it's worth just paying as you go, or
that's a good
putting
point.
that big chunk of money out.
If you're commuting, you know, you're living on Frenchay, but you commute to Bower Ashton or the city centre, it might be worthwhile. But if you're just going to use it here and there, because of the tap on, tap off, you know,
it's cheaper. Yeah, like if you're living on Frenchay, studying on Frenchay.
You're probably only going to use it
once or twice. Yeah,
I see. So we do have a few questions that have come in here. In the bathroom in Wolves Court Park House, is there any shaving plugs or radiators to dry towels? I guess a bit of a two-parter.
There are shaving plugs.
There are
shaving plugs.
I'm not sure on the radiator.
No, I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, I want to say no.
I want to say no.
However, if it's something that the person does want to know, just drop us an email, because we can ask one of our accommodation managers that are in and out of it all the time. But I don't think there are.
I don't think there are radiators, but I'm pretty sure there's a shaving plug.
Fantastic. I'm coming from Italy. Which airport is the nearest to Bristol?
So there's Bristol. It depends where you're flying from in Italy, but I know that Bristol Airport does have some flights to Italy. If not, I'd say go into London and come back out.
Because Heathrow is surprisingly, it's
not
not
far.
actually that close to London.
No.
So it's only about an hour and a half drive,
Yeah.
you know, compared to going into London, which is like 2-3 hours. After the online registration through my UWE app, is there still going to be a physical registration?
Oh, I'm not sure on that. I feel like that's an admissions question.
Yeah, so we do have an admissions team that you can find the number on our website to contact them, and they'd probably be a bit better to answer that question directly. Should I bring my own pillow?
Yeah,
Of course.
So we don't provide any of the bedding. So definitely bring your pillows and your duvets and everything like that. We have got the Sustainability Hub. We've done a recycling scheme this year. So last year's students donated their duvets. We had them all cleaned, so they're fully clean and fully fresh, like new basically. And I think they're like £3, maybe a £5.
Oh, wow.
So way cheaper than going and buying a
definitely,
new
yeah.
one. Really good if you're international, because obviously a duvet takes up a lot of room in that suitcase.
Yes,
so,
that's and a lot of weight too for the suitcase. What day is Freshers' Fair?
Depends on your campus, I think. I know it's Frenchay, I want to say it's like the 25th, 26th, and then it's sort of subsequently into the first week of October.
So it might be best to check the campus you're on, have a look at the website.
And you can go to any of them.
Oh,
but
fantastic.
Check your local one.
Perfect. What would be a fair weekly amount to budget on food and living expenses?
That's a very good question.
That is a very good question.
Very good. I think depends on where you want to shop. So we've got Lidl and Aldi nearby, and they are going to be your cheapest. Sainsbury's is a bit more expensive.
We've got Asda as well.
There is Asda,
there is
Asda
as well.
But shop around, I would say food-wise, you're probably looking at about £25 a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all the accommodation does have freezers as well. So like bulk cook something, make a spaghetti bolognese or something like that, bang it in the freezer. And then you've got a few meals. You can club together and do some meals with your flatmates as well to save some money. But yeah, I'd say about £25, and then depends on what your social life is like, really.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
It's very easy to blow that money quite quickly
Yes.
in pressures.
In the first week.
All the excitement, you know, but budget, this person's got the right attitude already. They're already
like it.
thinking about
Go on
budget.
it.
So
Yeah.
congratulations. This one I know we have covered, but it might be worth just repeating it, is what happens if you are late to your booking slot due to traffic or an unforeseen circumstance?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. The booking slots are sort of...
It helps us understand the
the
numbers,
numbers
doesn't it?
of people that are coming in. That's the main thing. And if you're a little bit late, that's absolutely fine. We're not going to turn you away and cancel your contract. It's just going to go. There might just be a bit more of a wait. So all we ask for is a little bit more patience.
I see. I accidentally booked for bike storage twice.
Oh.
Is that okay? Will I still just receive one key?
The likelihood is yes,
Yes.
I can imagine so. I mean, you might receive a phone call or an email from a member of staff just querying if you need to.
I see.
But to be honest, it's only just a key to get into the bike storage, so they wouldn't issue 2 keys. So I think that wouldn't be too much of a problem.
I see, yeah. Fantastic. Will the kitchen cupboards be labelled with our names or first come, first serve?
They are not labelled. We leave that up to you to decide who goes where. We just ask, like, don't be selfish with it.
Yeah.
If you are the first to arrive, don't spread your stuff out in every single cupboard. Have a cupboard. Or even, like, count how many rooms there are, count how many cupboards.
Yeah.
Like, right, okay, I got 2 cupboards each.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Put your equipment in one and your food in the other. But we don't label them up.
Yeah.
Because we want to treat you like adults, because you are adults.
Yeah,
So.
I would always recommend as well speaking to your flatmates about stuff like dividing the fridge. You know, I remember with mine, we had one fridge between 4 of us, so we were like, okay, and I think there's 3 shelves, so it was like one of us has a shelf each, and then one person has the door.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then that way it's somewhat evenly split. Sorry, just having a quick look here. Are we allowed to bring electric dryer errors to dry clothes?
No. No, it's the fire thing again, unfortunately.
Similar to the heaters themselves. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But
there's
fire hazard.
There's like they have like a washing and drying services on campus that you go.
Yeah, there's laundrettes for all of the accommodations.
Fantastic. Do we need to set up a direct debit before collecting the key card, or can we set it up after we move in?
We can set it up after, yeah. I mean, a lot of our international students who won't have a UK bank account do that.
Yeah.
The first payment isn't due until the first day in October, and obviously the contract starts on the 14th. So as long as it's done before that first payment is made, but if you want to be prepared, you can do it. A lot of people will do it beforehand.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world if you haven't, but just to make sure that it is set up before the first payment is due.
If you never set up a direct debit, it might be good to do it at home, do it with your parents, make sure you're doing it all correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if you're international and you need to set up a bank account, I'd do that really quickly as well. So that's one of those first things to do in the first few days.
Yeah.
Is go into town, have a look around at what bank you think is going to work best for you, and set up the bank account.
Because the city centre has like I'm pretty sure has Santander, has Halifax, Lloyds, HSBC, all the major high street brands. You can go there. You can. I'm sure you could even start one online from like Monzo. There's a lot more options nowadays. Is there a water filter machine in accommodation?
No, so all our tap water is completely fine to drink, and that goes for like the whole of the UK as well. So tap water is fine. There are the hydration stations that we have dotted around. So we've got a few of those in the communal rooms as well. But the tap water that's coming out of your taps in your flats is absolutely fine to drink.
Perfect. Can 2 people stay in a single room?
It's a single occupancy only.
Single occupancy. I suppose that's obviously like fire hazards, like making sure that we know who's on campus, security, all those things. Now, we only have a few questions left, and we only have about 10 minutes before this live stream closes. So if you do have any questions, don't hesitate. Please submit them now. And then just as I'm saying that, I'm receiving one. How are Purdown flats laid out? What does room 907 mean? Floor 9?
Ooh,
I like how this person asked that question.
Well, the 9 means
block 9.
Block 9, not floor 9.
No.
That's good to know.
So that means you're the 7th flat in the block. And as you walk in, you'll see all like the numbers on the side of the walls. It's the same for student village as well. So if you're Quantock 106, that means you're in Quantock, you're block 1 and you're flat 6.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
You can tell you guys the accommodation team, you know. Can I bring a mini freezer rather than a mini fridge in my room?
No. No.
Yeah, creative. I like that.
No.
Can you even get them?
I'm sure you could.
You must be able to, but no, the answer is the same.
It's
as
the same. Yeah, fantastic. What should we bring for shared bathrooms?
Toilet roll.
Toilet roll?
Bulk buy your toilet roll.
Buy your toilet roll.
Bulk buy.
That's just a good tip as well. If you go into, when you go into private accommodation as well in your second and third year, get a big thing of toilet roll.
Yeah.
You're going to go through it more than you think you are. And bulk buy that. Cleaning products again, and really like work out a rota and of who's going to clean it, how often you want to clean it. Is it a weekly thing? Is it a daily thing? Is it after you've used it? Just sit down with the person that you're going to be sharing it with.
Taking the responsibility for your own mess and like for what you need to do in the bathroom,
exactly.
I suppose. We had another one coming through. We've got 5 minutes left now, but we still got a few questions that we can go through. What kind of utensils do you require for the electrical stoves in the student village accommodation?
They're just regular pots and pans. Anything will work on those. And depends on what you want to cook, I suppose. But yeah, they don't need to be induction, those ones.
Fantastic. Is it okay if I miss Freshers Week?
Oh, don't miss it. It's the best week. It's the best week. I think
it's important.
It's important. Those first 2 weeks are so critical. So the first week they're going to set up like your course and your program. You're going to get to meet all your course friends, meet your lecturers, meet your tutors. And the second week, that's when you start to build like your community. So that's the big event. So that's when Freshers Week is. That's when the Freshers Fair are. Yeah. That's the big social events.
The settling in.
Yeah.
So
that's when you're going to meet your friends, and that's when you're going to meet who you're going to be spending your uni life with. So it's really important to come down. It might be a little bit isolating, even if you come afterwards. So
yeah, that's true.
It's hard to then break the ice again with people that have already broken it.
Have been made.
Yeah, I see. Are there bidets in the washroom?
There are not. And we request that you don't add anything into the bathrooms as well. So you can't add any sort of hoses and pipes or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that most likely has come from international students. Yes. A lot of international, a lot of other countries have bidets.
Yeah,
UK
we're quite rare to not have them actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I would just say dash the shower, How many flats are on each floor of Purdown? I'm just going to retest your knowledge here.
Is it?
I think it's different in each block.
It varies. So
it varies.
I've actually only been in block 8, I think, or block 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Block 9, and they have 2 flats and a studio.
Yeah. So it tends to be there's a mixture for Purdown View. It will vary in each block and on each floor because the way that the building's designed. But it tends to be we've put the studios in amongst the flats as well, so you will have neighbours if you want to pop out and stuff like that.
It's quite nice, isn't it? Because obviously you're at a studio, you live on.
Could be a bit isolating.
But then you've got 5 or 6 people living on that floor as well.
Yeah, I see. So we got time for one more question. I think this is actually quite a good one to end on. Is getting a job in first year a good idea?
I went to uni a long time ago, so I'm maybe not the best person. I personally would get used to uni life first. So I would recommend maybe not getting a job straight away. Maybe like December time, January time, once you've found your foot with your course and your new way of life and your new city and all of that, then maybe look at getting a job. But it can be quite a lot to take on. It's quite a lot of change to then put a job on top of it.
I think it's probably worth mentioning there is the student ambassador scheme that you can sign up to through UWE. It's a 0 hour, so you can work when you can. You accept the shifts rather than having to work every weekend or like every Wednesday for retail. Now, I'm afraid, guys, that is all our time. But would you mind just letting people know where they can find you, how they can get in contact with you, just in case their question wasn't answered here? Yeah, so I mean, email, phone, you can pop in if you're around. We're always there to help. We've got a customer service team, you've got us, you've got accommodation managers, obviously the student life team, all the socials.
any way you want to contact us, you will be able to.
Fantastic. And they can find that number and email UWE website?
Yep, UWE website, and obviously when we email, our kind of contact details are on there as well.
Fantastic. So check your emails or look on the UWE website, Accommodation team, and they'll get through to either you two or your lovely colleagues.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and answering these questions. I'm sure it went a long way for a lot of people. And thank you so much for watching today. Really do appreciate it. We're excited to have you move into UWE Bristol, and we'll see you in September.